duelist at the end of the day, you know. If you just hit the head, yeah, no strats matter, right?
The game really is that simple. Good people. You shoot him in the head, you win the game.
It's actually funny, a little side quest, but Marv used to tell me that when he was on FaZe, so that strategy has stuck around for quite some time.
And now he's playing for NRG, and you're casting with me. So
Absolutely.
obviously, he took the advice a little bit better than you did. FlyQuest starting off on attack. Shopify looking to do what many expect to happen. Unless FlyQuest can do something pretty ridiculous about it. Grand finals on the cards, as the death so eloquently put together. It's a rematch, and it was a close match, but this is a different story. A best of 5 is a marathon.
Yeah, and this time starting off on Lotus, where last time they played against each other, SR, this was the last map in their series, and SR was already on a roll, right? So trying to catch SR off guard on this map, and if they could yoink this map away from them, it would be huge.
It's a big start. That's also really, I mean,
super convincing.
The plant spot, that plant spot is so aggressively deep. You can tell they're going to want to try to fight for some of that spawn space. I think that's why they're posted up in heaven, right?
Look at how fast this retake protocol is from SR, though. Oh, that's a huge kill, Doug, from Dodo Nut.
It might not matter. Mel still has the smoke, so they can play around that a little bit. That paranoia is going to cause some problems. Starbound's pushing forward. And that's what I mean. It was that deep, aggressive plant spot that suggested they wanted to fight into spawn. You see the 2 blue X's on the minimap. They're deep into where Shopify would try to approach us from. Alexis is now left alone in a 1v4. She takes one with her, but it's a great pistol for the attack side.
And speaking about like rematches and everything, you already see adaptations made from FlyQuest. The first time they played on this map in the last series, there was the fast flanks, fast retakes coming in from Shopify, right? Like instantly, and we saw that in this round as well. But this time, understanding that and actually playing to push deep into spawn with multiple players, and then picking up the flank, not getting caught off guard. So already little micro changes in strategy, but ultimately they're going back to the 2-2-1 that we saw so many times before, and just not trying to get picked off early here.
Almost was. Just narrowly missing out on that.
Here comes the refight. Oh, Zonder's stuck here.
Yep. Oh, they had to challenge. I love that from Sarah. Opportunistic understanding. Sonder had nowhere to go.
And I want to note that no space was taken on this A side of the map. So even though this C fight punished Sonder from FlyQuest, there was no space taken on the other side of the map. And that actually works against SR, which is kind of funny because they're playing for the initial reaction, right? Oh, we just showed 4 people towards the C side of the map. Surely they don't go C, but great IGLing right now from FlyQuest already. Reading into how SR likes to rotate on this map, maybe from prep work. Should be a free sight.
And you can tell Shopify, they gambled, they guessed, they put so much of their onus on A, like you were just mentioning, because they understand how they want to rotate. And dude, these retakes are so tough too. Even if you're up in numbers, it's classics. Flores a deagle, but there's not much to fight back with here.
Yeah, especially against 2 Bulldogs, the Outlaw, you know, and then you have Omen playing in that bend area with a Spectre for that spray and pray. So this is definitely going to be a really hard retake. And honestly, any gun they can get out right now would be a W.
I don't think they're going to get a W.
Still 3 alive. It did some damage. Armor off of Lace and Dodo.
Yeah. Here. Starbound can keep that on to the next. Oh. They got one. They got Dodos.
It's a Bulldog. They're able to pick it up.
Yeah, so I mean, I think all things considered for FlyQuest, yeah, you dropped a couple of weapons. You're going to have to invest armor, as you were mentioning, but you're carrying the 2 Bulldogs and Outlaw into the next. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, and I wonder how much value this Outlaw is going to get, because if you look on the opposing side of Shopify, there's 4 players with light armor right now. So this Outlaw might go crazy here, especially on the lurk on A. Maybe try to catch a timing on the re-clear or catch a timing after you dodge this Omen Flash. That would be a huge entry.
That nade early on off of the haunt. the ever standard exchange of utility at the opening of the round on A main.
Yep. Very standard stuff. Able to just react and take C and front B space. So FlyQuest already playing the map really well in terms of macro.
If they're able to convert this would be huge.
Oh, Noya.
But they got the plant down. They're still up in numbers, though. Sandra has nothing but a sheriff. The Outlaw is continuing to cause problems.
One enemy remaining.
The timing is really nice on that swing, too, from Sarah. Nicely done from Shopify.
Yeah, it honestly looked pretty effortless, too. And I thought that Outlaw could get way more value than what it did, especially when 4 players had light armor. But FlyQuest just opting to just go straight for like a C post plant. But Noya staying in there and just finessing around that pillar area. Also understanding that FlyQuest has been saving on to that Omen Flash for the post plants. So not too scared to take that fight. And maybe you'll see now FlyQuest investing more utility for the actual hit onto the site.
Yeah, sure.
Here. Shopify going for a B-trap play.
Dude, that paranoia setup if there's contact.
Yeah, it'll be deadly.
There.
Held for now.
That flash should be an indicator for FlyQuest to not do anything too brash, too crazy, right? And FlyQuest understand, okay, there was no early A presence, so this space is probably free. Let's try to walk in. We'll catch anybody off guard if they actually are pushed up. And that's just the info game on this map, right? That flash connected with a player front B finally. Last couple rounds it hasn't. So they know there's something going on. Something funny going on. No way!
Oh, there's something funny going on! I wondered if they were going to check her. The observers did an amazing job of highlighting her position. Now they have the paranoia they can buy around, but okay, this is awkward. Saunders on site by herself. There's no help. They got the spike down, but
Satchel out.
Floor is actually interested in taking the fight and said, now Floor's by herself. They're so separated. They're so thrown apart. 3 on the round. The 4th will connect. And it's a slaughter for Shopify.
Floor still got it. Just jumps through off of that Gecko ult timing, wins the 1v1 against Sonder, and then that pre-fire in the tree was clean. And Floor was miles ahead of her team in that retake, but she played it near perfect with those satchels.
I mean, that kill opens up everything.
Yep.
One enemy remaining.
That pre-fire, that's so clean.
Yeah, that was pretty. I didn't even see if the suck necessarily hit, but there was a seize on the ground and a rocket in the air, and that's a bad day, man.
And so far, the last 2 rounds, Alexis has actually gotten really good value from that seize. Early A space gathered from Starbound here. Very reactionary default from FlyQuest. It's like this push and pull, this constant push and pull on Lotus, where if the defense is taking control of one area, okay, you poke up on the other area, right? It's kind of like a seesaw. Go back and forth around the map till you think that you have the right read on what site you want to hit.
A little damage out there. The buy for FlyQuest now great. 2 marshals.
Oh yeah, still challenging this too. Holding a really tight off angle.
Noya's just been so impactful in these situations, and you understand you've got a weapon advantage. Still nicely traded from Starbound, but I don't know that there's going to be enough here to muster any real momentum.
Great molly.
Yeah, they're having a really hard time getting through this. I think they're even thinking twice about it.
What?
They're going to try to satchel out, but Floor gets some high ground. The spike gets away, but Dodo's the only one left alive.
Getting bombed down here would be huge.
Man, maybe getting a kill too. Look at this face! Dude, they were expecting the swing! All 4 of them were staring at the panel. That's nuts.
And the cohesion and the confidence from SR on these retakes so far have been really good. All 4 players grouped up in that moment, all fighting together, ready for anything, having each other's backs. And that'll promptly get a timeout from FlyQuest, a very, very early timeout. So already trying to stop any type of bleeding whatsoever. Not wanting SR to just run away with this game. And we've seen Shopify be able to just string 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds in a row. You know what I mean? So this is a really well-placed timeout from Jovi.
Well, what's interesting, too, is it's very similar and very reminiscent to what happened the last time they met on Bind, what, 2 days ago? Or, excuse me, not Bind, on Lotus 2 days ago. It was very competitive at the beginning. FlyQuest started off on attack. And, yeah, I think you mentioned it earlier, Dre. The way that Shopify have approached the defensive rounds is notably different. They aren't sending as much as far as flank goes, and they're a bit more concerned with what's in front of them. But I think Jovi wanting to inject a little bit of insight and a little bit of voice early on this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, especially because they've been conditioning this steady default and reactionary default, right? Like almost every round. So the rotations are getting baited out. Like they're doing a good job. And I think the recipe for success for FlyQuest is hitting the spot that SR is showing heavy early on, right? If they read into it and understand that SR fights early space with like a mass group, if they can just re-walk in like they did in that anti-eco round, I think they'll get a lot of success on this attack.
We'll see if that proves to be the case. Again, 3 from the defense. They're so concerned about this fight mid. The second swing might not matter.
Great first blood. 1 HP for Floor.
Yeah, but I think given how the map is played, that feels like such a big win. It's been so like poke and prod and so like feel things out here, get a kill, and then reset the map. This is, yes, Floor down to 1 HP is far from ideal, but I think this is a great scenario for Shopify.
Yeah, it is, and that's honestly a counter to the 2-2-1 default that we've been seeing so far. Yeah, this time there's 3 people in front of B, but Shopify understand that they want to punish that space. They don't want FlyQuest to get it for free every single round. Mal should, leave the site here, and a retake will commence very soon. All rotations moving very fast right now. What kind of post plan are we going to see here? We've seen how proactive FlyQuest like to be on these post plans.
Well, there's a paranoia and already a satchel forward. FlyQuest have gotten 2 kills. Alexis on the swing. Dizzy's dead. Saunders dead. Lace is dead. And it's all onto Starbound and Noya. Oh, that cage is going to go down. And Starbound going to cross. What a shot from Noya. Oh, that was filth. I really hope we get that from her POV.
That was insta. I think all Noya saw was probably the elbow of Starbound. That was insane. And Noya was really late there too in that round because of how fast the retake came through from the other members of Shopify. Maybe trying to predict that there was going to be somebody lurking front B, and it almost ended up going against them. But that was so fast. Off a shift walk too. It wasn't even like she went full wide swing, right? So
right. Yeah, that's a good point.
In order to hit that, like that's fast reaction time. Very, very fast. So already dialed in. This is Noya and Shopify. That was a very, very fast retake. So I said it even on the pistol round. Shopify is moving really fast on these retakes. It's catching FlyQuest off guard because if they hesitate for a second without taking space, they're already getting swarmed.
Well, and I think they knew that too going into this because of the way they approached the pistol. But even knowing what's ahead of them, they can't. They're not finding the space. They just got a kill with a molly. Or excuse me, Noya did. They're so far ahead of what's happening here.
It's the proactivity again. Doesn't connect this time.
They're buying space. Oh, they're gonna triple face. Still numbers in favor of Shopify. And look, now all 4 of them are here. They understand they have numbers. They're happy to take these fights. And unless Sandra pulls off a miracle, which she can't, it's another round for Shopify.
Alexis has been so clean with this fade utility. And that's why you see her holding on to a lot of it, because she's aware of how aggressive FlyQuest likes to get in these post plants. So using it during those moments on these chokes. And for FlyQuest, you know, I like that they like to get proactive, but I think they're choosing the wrong spots. We saw them in the last series try to fight this water area, and it really never went their way because there's too many spots to play anti. And the Gecko Flash is too easy to break.
That's true. It also helps that Shopify have numbers.
Yeah.
In a tight chokehold like that, like you're hoping for a little bit of a
Give me a
freaking lucky
challenge,
bullet, you know?
Yeah. And I want to see FlyQuest use
Where are you?
the CT spawn areas more often, right? Like they did on Pistol Round, where they took A heaven control and fought into spawn. I think
Yeah,
on the
agreed.
C site, instead of getting proactive in water, they should just get proactive in spawn and have that crossfire. Because SR, like their retake from that water area, they're all dialed in, and they have players that are anti all these things, all these different layers, holding for that aggression. And SR has changed their setup. Like, I feel like we've seen like 4 or 5 different setups already.
Where did that mosh pit just go?
I think it's the re-clear rubble, perhaps.
Maybe. It
Little
seemed
lineup
really
molly.
Yeah. I wonder if that was intended for somewhere in B or C to throw a little bit of misdirection. Either way, they've taken panel. That paranoia is going to buy a lot of time out from Mel. That's pretty. Is there a swing behind it?
Look at how aggressive they're playing.
They've just got him trapped right now. Nice timing from Alexis.
And look at the protocols. Look at the
Wait, she
crossfires.
stuck it.
30
She went
seconds
back.
left.
She got cleared, and Sarah was there to greet the kill.
One
They had
enemy
tried
remaining.
ulting. I would love to see that again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sarah was just waiting there, execution style, for Thea to get canceled on the ult.
And that's all off of like these protocols that Shopify have and their game plan. Their game plan is to go for these fast retakes, and that ultimately gives no space for FlyQuest. And then
seconds left.
they just have to run into this crossfire that Mel and Floor
One
have.
enemy
Really dialed in right now on their game plan is Shopify. They're actually looking really, really clean right now.
Yeah.
That's dangerous if you're FlyQuest, because last time you played this map, like you said, it was pretty close.
Yeah, it was competitive. It was what, 7-5 half? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there. Got that early pit out C, and then the alarm bot to protect it. A lot of Killjoy utility B as well. I think they're starting to feel out some of what Shopify have tried doing, as you've mentioned, this early B aggression, or at least the attempt to deny that space.
Look at how ready they are for this.
Yeah, exactly.
2 mollies, turret, tether.
Take hold. Bomb grenade out.
Oh,
And the spam Donut almost dies.
if you're FlyQuest right now, this is just like smothering almost. Like anywhere you've gone, it just hasn't worked out for you, it feels like.
And you know what's tough is that's really hard to do on a 3-site map.
Yeah.
Like, when there's that much space, you should, in theory, have a little bit more room to work with. Floor can ult here. She's gonna ult. And she's gonna get the wingman. Oh, it's another slaughter. It's another disaster. Can Lace crack the site wide open? The pit goes down, but the spike's out of reach. There's no way for them to get through. Oh, it's a mess again.
One enemy remaining.
Playing anti.
Wow.
They're drilled. They're protocoled. I mean, this looks alarmingly worse than what we saw 2 days ago.
Rest is over.
It's so hard to hit the Viper's pit without like a KJ ult or a Raze rocket, right? To clear out all that space and actually punish for the kill, because, I mean, you saw it there. Even the dog connected onto Sarah, but that pit is just, it's too good. You can play in so many different spots.
Yeah.
And then when you have Florida back you up with a rocket, it just makes it even easier.
Enemy remaining.
And
Placing swarm.
I was talking about how Shopify can string a bunch of rounds together, and we see it 7 in a row right now.
Yep.
Or SR.
Pistol, a distant memory, man.
Yeah. And again, going for this early B punish. But no one's going to be there this time. But the thing is that info alone of just having that B line and understanding that, okay, they're not doing the 2-2-1 this time, allows you to play heavy on these extremities, right? That's why you saw earlier 3 people leaning towards A, but that's a huge entry.
I think Lotus
FlyQuest.
was jump spotting too. That must have been a filthy shot.
That'd be crazy to get on replay. But again, the fast retake. They just keep catching FlyQuest off guard in these weird moments. Like, you don't expect the door to be open right there.
Well, and I think that's probably why they're so intent on controlling the middle of the map.
Yeah.
You can impact so much. Oh,
Last player
you can
standing.
impact so much of it from a distance. Just, I mean, even if you give up C and Noya gets caught, like you hit the door, you get 2 in exchange. You can do the same thing with Panel if you're hitting A.
Exactly. And if you're not ready for that, right? Like if you don't have somebody actually dialed in who's looking at their mini map or even looking at the doors open up so fast now after that change. There's no audio cue in like the first like couple seconds of it now, right? So it allows you to catch people off guard, especially while they're running into sight. Oh, it was a dirty entry.
Spike planted.
But look at this util from Alexis again. Like, yeah, she's not up there in kills or assists, but like the info that her util has been getting has so much value.
And that's often been the case for Alexis. She might not always like you pop off with a ton of value, but honestly, she reminds me a lot of Crashies and a lot of Ethan in regards to the value that they're able to provide their team with just utility. And that's the stuff that you're right. You don't see that on stat boards, whatever. Doesn't make it into frag movies, but that's what allows Floor to pop off. That's what allows Sarah, Noya to have their big moments.
Okay, so 2 players from FlyQuest broke that clear from Alexis. So info should be gathered here. And I mean, you see it on the mini map already, right? Look at Floor already leaning over. Oh, this Odin's gonna be huge here.
Dude, they just can't get in. There's no way in. They're gonna try though. The layers of this are nuts. The molly and then the suck. The flash from the other side. There's nowhere to go. But maybe they're swinging out too far. Yeah, they may have gotten a bit too much here.
Oh my gosh. Sarah was running in there like Rambo for a second.
I respect it, and
I
for good
thought,
reason, right?
I thought she was gonna get all 4, all 5.
I thought so too.
I was kind of scared for a second.
Sonder has the other ult ready to go. Big numbers advantage. Mel has an op. You can't imagine there's going to be a real attempt at this, but alas, it's Shopify, and they're up big, so why not?
Oh my gosh.
It didn't hit. Noya tucked around.
That thing's got Nikes on.
Yeah, that thing was zooming. I mean, there's no real way for them to do anything here, right?
Hopefully not.
It's a bait.
Oh,
One,
wait.
It's just one, though. It's just one. It's just one.
Last
That's all it
player
is.
standing.
That's all it'll be. There's just not enough time for this. There's still too many targets.
Oh my gosh.
Noya's going to hunt him down as best as she can. No, with no real idea. They all fall, but it's another round for FlyQuest. And honestly, Drake, given the barrage of utility that they had to deal with Tree and then A main, that's a big win.
Round before the switch.
Yeah, it was a big one. For honestly both sides though, because SR understanding, okay, we're probably not going to win this 2v4, but if we can take out every single gun and put FlyQuest in an unfavorable spot in terms of utility and armor, that they will have the good advantage of closing out the half.
Yeah, agreed.
One enemy remaining.
But the actual trades, like you said, in Tree were beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Punishing Sarah for going so aggressive with the Odin right there.
And you got to think that's the difference between a round loss and like a 4K from Sarah and a Reddit clip. Oh, the op is on mine.
And we're out just like that.
A good trade though out from Sonder. She's gonna go for more.
No way.
Dre, she's gonna go for more, and she's alone. She gets a wingman and the kill. Still can play behind the safety of the smoke. They still don't know she's there.
Oh my gosh.
Spike down.
4 with 3. I mean, just single-handedly picking FlyQuest apart.
Switching sides.
Floor used that Omen smoke to perfection right there. And FlyQuest, I mean, I don't blame him. Like, you don't expect somebody to just keep re-swinging out of the smoke.
No.
Especially after this, getting an op kill.
One enemy remaining.
So clean.
It felt very reminiscent of like people trying to use a harbor cove to get out onto site and then playing around it.
Yeah.
Right? To isolate gunfights and to keep yourself a little bit more protected. Obviously, the cove has benefits that the Omen smoke doesn't, but it's the same idea. And that's just so impressive on the fly from Floor.
That's what sets her apart from the pack of other duelists, right? Apart from, honestly, Dodo, who's probably, the second best duelist in the league, right? Little micro plays like that.
Oh boy. There's nothing micro about that. That was just him satcheling forward. I'm sure there was more nuance to it, but a little 2 for 2 there. Nicely done by Sonder to trade one back, but Mel again. 26 HP. She's gotten it down to 1, and they're going to be able to get out. I don't think Lace can catch him.
Lace does have armor though, and Mel is in one-shot territory, so this is very doable.
I think Sarah's positioning is huge. If they get the spike
planted.
down, that's a big box
Definitely.
to check. Lace has no idea. Could be backside. That would have been a big one. That would have been huge.
She was
But
so
Sarah
close.
was there to save the day, yeah.
Close, but no cigar. Shopify have just ran away with this map. But I mean, it is their map pick, right? They are known for
Yeah.
being really, really good at Lotus. Like,
They're known for being really, really good.
yeah,
To be fair.
yeah.
I wonder though, Dre, as you know, we think about what this tournament has looked like for Shopify. Let's zoom out a little bit. The conversation has been, yeah, Shopify are really good, but hang on. All of a sudden, there are teams that are pushing them a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? We saw FlyQuest push them a little bit. We saw Decimate push them a little bit. I wonder how much of this is like we're going to shatter any semblance of a narrative that we're not head and shoulders above everyone else. And if that's the intent going into this series, a 10-3 start on Lotus is an excellent way to do that.
I mean, they're definitely playing like it, right?
Yeah.
And just as a player, right?
Down, C.
First of all, this site hit was clean, good utility. As a player, when you're in that position, right? When you've beaten a team before, right? A lot of the narrative is, oh, the team that wants revenge is usually gonna play better because they know how to counter you, et cetera, et cetera. But
Right.
you're right. Like Shopify, they're a championship level team, and they want to show that and not let any teams think that they even have a resemblance of a chance of beating them. And the way to prove that is beating the teams you've already beat even worse
Yeah.
the next time around.
I mean, talk about, stuffing or extinguishing any, like, yo, wait a second, hang on. FlyQuest have a shot at this, right? Like, this is a statement map. And yes, you said it earlier, it's their map. And there's a lot of truth to that. But also, this is a really good way to, again, silence any sort of nonsense that's coming in from the crowd. But also, instill a lot of doubt into the mind of FlyQuest. Because that 9-3 half, this 11-3 scoreline round, right now, this is getting out of hand super fast.
Yeah. That's what makes this team so great, is that they try to do better and better performance after performance. They want to improve. And I think a big key note of that is Effie's and what he brings to this team, keeping everybody, aligned
Agreed.
with the same goal and not getting too arrogant or overconfident. Because we definitely saw in some of these previous series, notably in the last FlyQuest series, I did feel like Shopify kind of did let off the gas on that second map, right? And they kind of got outplayed, and floor was quiet. He's keeping the mental together. And what can FlyQuest cook up on this first gun round?
Find you.
So they took half wall. They pushed off some of the A main aggression. Prowler out didn't get far enough to even trip the trip.
The Cypher setup here, I mean, this is going to be hard for Shopify to break through. So I think you're going to see them prod up. If they go for this hit, I think they're going to get destroyed. They should get destroyed at least.
Satchel out.
Well, that's going to break the first trip, but
There it is, yeah.
will they be ready for the second? That's the true question.
There's a lot of space tree. Noya finding the late lurk. Echo utility gone. Oh, that flash is gorgeous.
One enemy remaining.
Again, the initiator value and the initiator impact is often left by the side, but that was a perfect example of that.
Lace supporting Dodo so well. And that pick that Noya got actually worked against Shopify, because as soon as they got that B pick, they realized, oh, maybe we should go back and split B now. But FlyQuest took that insta timing
Yeah.
to re-clear a tree.
Whoa, get out.
This is too much to ask for.
Oh, yeah, 1000%.
Some life for FlyQuest, but it's still going to be a really uphill battle and perhaps a fake comeback, if I'm completely honest. But you need this if you're FlyQuest. You need to string along some rounds just for your own confidence going into the next map, right?
One enemy remaining.
It all starts with one.
Dude, again, that flash that Lace just hit. They had no shot. There was no shot of turning that thing. There was no nothing.
It was perfect timing. Already catching players falling back, and then as soon as they hear the footsteps, they want to turn and look. The flash is already there. All of B gathered for Shopify. Yep. Oh, and this late lurk. Do you see Noya is going to punish right here? This is huge.
Two
Oh
found?
my gosh.
Two found.
There.
Yeah, again, this feels like a different, a little something extra out from Shopify.
Yeah, you see how prepared they are for that.
Yeah, well, and also the timings that they've been able to hit. Floor just got 2 kills with the judge. Dre, this might be wraps.
Yeah. FlyQuest went around. SR wins 5, 6, 7, right? It's like,
Yeah.
and you got to save the Bulldog, which is rough in itself, right? You couldn't even,
that doesn't
you couldn't
feel
even
good.
afford a Vandal.
Yep. Yeah, to go back to the conversation we were having earlier, this does feel like there's a little something extra. And maybe, you know, Shopify are obviously very good at all times, but there's something, they're a little bit more Sunday gamers. I don't know, but I mean, they're bringing it today. And FlyQuest looked lost on this map.
One enemy
Yeah.
remaining.
That's the beauty in this roster. They've been together for so long
Bot coming back. Out of charges.
that teams kind of have to play to like counter them, right? And they can change that. They can change up anything. They can do micro things. They can counter FlyQuest. Doesn't have that much, right, in the playbook yet. Still early in the year for them.
Toxin screen down.
Might be early in the year for them, but it's late on this map.
Yeah.
They're sending 3 down C.
Oh, he's
Sonder
such
just
a
got their
snake.
ult. Did they check this? Oh, gosh. I think they were going to
gosh.
try. Sonder has ult. She has to use it here, right? Yeah.
Great flash.
The paranoia is there to buy some space, but she had no shot.
But look at the mini map, Doug.
They're in spawn.
And they're gonna wrap C. And then Floor's pushed all the way up. Is
With the glowing
FlyQuest gonna be
Vandal.
aware? Starbound looks
No.
like she
No.
Might be aware.
No shot. No shot. Starbound falls. Floor gets away. Again, much like we saw with the op round.
Jeez.
She gets hers, and then she gets out. It's beautiful.
so fast as well.
The one benefit here, the one silver lining, if you will, for FlyQuest is Sandra's got an ult back. So there might be a shot at this.
She can connect all. Would be everything.
Oh, but it went the wrong way.
Oh, yeah. And that deep
Hang
smoke.
on, though. Lace is deep. Lace is deep in the smoke. She's going to get a timing, but it might be too little too late. Mel, a 1v2. It's
no
not planted
time.
for her, I don't think. I don't think it's planted for her. Oh, no, it's so close. She's going to get it. There's no time. There's no time. What a clutch.
Hackers win.
The Red Bull clutch through for Shopify to give them Lotus 13-4.